Right, so welcome back. We are going to focus on stretching out into your hamstrings, into your hips. This would be perfect for after having done a run, or if it's just an area that you just feel stiff overall. And I know from my classes that many of the students have tight hamstrings. We'll start with a very easy stretch into the hamstring. So just before we start, actually what I forgot to mention is you might need a little towel, two nice big books like this, or anything that you can prop yourself up with. I'll show you later. I'm going to be using yoga blocks, which is exactly what the books will be doing later on. Come down onto your back. Hold on to the back of your right leg, and then we'll just flex the ankles. With a flexed knee position, we're going to press up into the heel, release. Press up into the heel, making that leg as straight as you can, and release. Exhale. Just getting the hamstring to wake up. Good. We're doing about 10 on each side. Let's change around. Grab a hold of the back of your left leg and reach up for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Now you're going to be needing your little towel. So the stiffer you are on your legs, the longer your towel needs to be. We're going to wrap the towel around the foot and then just focus on a static hold for the hamstring. Now keep your ankle flexed here, so pull the toes down towards the shin, reach up through the heel and drop down through your hip. And gently press into the back of your knee joint. You want to stay here until you actually feel those muscles in the back of the leg lengthening out and giving you sort of more space to work in. Take this time to focus on deep breathing. And just observe how the body feels when you do this stretch. Keep on pulling those toes down towards the shins. Okay, now drop your left knee down to the floor on the left. So you're just dropping it open. And then we're going to drop the right leg open to the right. You keep that leg straight. You keep pushing into the heel and into the back of the knee joint. So this is a strong stretch into your inner thighs. And the general direction of pull is towards your shoulder. Now slowly bring it up into center. Lengthen your left leg. We're going to take that leg and drop it across the midline of the body. So this is getting into your hips, into the sides of your legs. It's nice if you can have your elbow on the left resting on the floor as you keep the weight of the leg pulling up towards your left shoulder. Keep on drawing the toes towards your shins. And spend time here. Don't rush in and out of these stretches. You want to feel the benefits. Stay there for a while. Till you feel those muscles, the little muscle fibers releasing. Remember, the way that you decrease the stretch is just lower the leg towards the ankle on the left. And the stronger you make it is pull the leg up towards the shoulder. Now bend that knee and bring it back into center. Let's do the same on the other side. Lengthen your left leg up to the ceiling. Keep your right leg flexed. Pull the toes towards your shins. Push up into the heel. Drop down into the hip. Gently press into the back of the knee joint. Again, the way to decrease the stretch here, if you're struggling to get a straight knee, just lower the leg towards the floor. If you want to make it stronger and you're able to keep a straight leg, you pull it in towards the chest. And find that position where you can actually relax. You get it to a point where you can relax into the stretch. If it just feels painful and tension and you don't ever feel any relaxation into that stretch, you might be overstretching, which is not beneficial to you at all. Now drop your knee on the right, down towards the right. And let's take this left leg out to the side for that inner thigh stretch. Stretch into the heel, pull the toes towards the shins. Gently pressing into the back of the knee joint. Remember, the way that you decrease the stretch is letting the leg go towards the end of your mat. To increase it, pull it in towards the shoulders. Keep on pushing into that heel. Draw the toes to the shins. Now bring it back into center. Lengthen your right leg. And let's drop it across the body. This is great for stretching into the lower spine as well, if that's an area that's stiff for you. Keep your toes pulling into your shins. Keep pressing into the heels. Gently into the back of the knee joint. Again, pull up to the shoulder on the right if you want to increase the stretch. Down towards the end of your mat if you need to decrease your stretch. Spend time here. Don't rush out of it. If it's really uncomfortable, decrease your stretch. Find a position that works best for your body and for where your flexibility is at the moment. Gently bring it back. Bend the knee and bring it back into center. Great. Okay, come up. This is where we're going to start needing our books or yoga blocks. Okay, so if you have 2 books, you want them to be as high up as you can if you are very stiff in your hamstrings. Take your left leg out straight. You're going to use the books for a little bit of support because we want to keep the back straight here. So we're leaning from the hip joint. As you can see, I'm not bending or rounding my spine here. We're just leaning forwards, straight spine. The books are there to give us some support. Chest is lifted. Toes is pointing to the ceiling and pulling gently in towards the hamstrings. Towards your shins. Okay, now keep that position with the ankle and then just go into a little lunge forwards and back. Into a little lunge forwards and back. and 3 and 4 and 5. Now come back into a bent knee position. Still straight spine. Dig your heel into the floor. So this is going to switch your hamstrings on. Then we're going to roll it from side to side. Just rolling it from side to side. Keep that bent knee position. This will release the fascia as it wraps around the 3 parts of your hamstrings. And it's great having the books here for a little bit of support. So you just focus on what you're doing with your hamstrings. Okay, now from here, bring that foot in a little bit. Place both of your hands on the inside of your left foot. Tuck your toes under and stretch into the heel behind you. Now here you want to keep your spine as long as you can. We're going to take that left hand, reach it forwards, circle it around to the hip and circle it back. And 2 and circle it back. And 3 and circle it back. And 4, circle it back. And 5 and circle it back. Good. Knee back down, and we'll do the same on the other side. Take your right leg this time. Get your books in position. Right leg out in front of you, nice and straight. Straight spine. Pull the toes towards the shins. And just stay there in the static stretch. And from there, let's lunge forwards and back. And if you feel one side's a little bit stiffer than the other side, then spend more time there. Repeat the repetitions. Repeat the stretch. This is my stiffer side. So I'm just going to do a few more of these little lunges just to loosen off in there. Okay, now come into a bent knee position. Dig your heel in so you can feel the hamstring muscles, the back of the upper thighs switch on. Spine is straight and then roll it from side to side. Roll it. Keep digging down. You want to keep that tension. Good. Okay, and we are done with that one. Okay, place your books to the side and let's do the next one where we get a little bit more into the gluteals. So from here, we will be doing our right leg over and behind the left leg. So bring the left leg forwards towards the hands, reach the right leg out behind you. This is going to stretch into your left gluteal muscle. Hopefully you can feel it. Stay lifted. You can come down onto your elbows. And observe how the body is responding to the stretch. It's going to be different from all of us, for all of us. As you know in the classes, not everyone feels the stretch in exactly the same place. Okay, drop your hip down to the floor. Come up, bend the knee, grab a hold of your ankle. And we'll just stretch into your quadricep muscle. So we're trying to bring the heel as close to the gluteal muscle as we can. As you can see, my glute, my quadricep muscle is feeling a little bit stiff today, so it's going to take time for it to release so that my heel can come to my glute. What you want to focus on is your position of your body here. So don't sink into the shoulders. Stay lifted. You can also roll the top hip forwards. If your heel touches the gluteal muscle, you can roll the top hip forwards to go into it a little bit stronger. And let go. Good, let's do the same on the other side. So we're going to take the left leg this time behind the right leg. Bring your right knee forwards towards the hands and reach your left leg out behind you. Feeling that stretch in your right gluteal this time, your right hip area. Come down on your elbows. And then roll down onto your right hip. Lifting yourself up with a strong arm on the right, bend your knee, grab a hold of that ankle. You can take that knee and place it further back if you need to. Stay lifted here. And draw the heel towards the gluteal muscle. Observe that moment when your muscle is giving you a little bit more length and your heel gets closer to your gluteal. If your heel is already touching your gluteal muscle, roll your hip forwards. That will increase that stretch for you. And let go. Well done. So now take your left leg and place it into a nice flex knee, flexed ankle position like this. Your right leg is just out to the side. And we're just getting a nice sort of half deep squat position here. This opens up further into your hips. And let's change it around. Take your right leg out to the side. Drop your bum close to your heel on the right. Right bum down to right heel. And I'm using my arm to open up my knee a little bit. Just getting space into my hip joints. Change it around again. Into a half deep squat. Lean forwards a bit so we can get deep flexion into the ankle in the front. Keep the heel flat down on the floor though. Don't be tempted to lift that heel up. And let's do that again on the other side. Keep the heel down. Go for the deep flexion into the ankle. Good. So this should be a nice little session to do after a run at the end of the day of sitting down. Again, as always, I will say listen to your body. If anything feels too painful, reduce the stretching or go on to the next stretch. Let's finish up with a few breaths. Standing nice and tall. Inhale and exhale. Sink down into those open hips now. And exhale. And exhale. Wonderful. Thank you very much. I'll see you next time.